So that said, Rex, a Cowboys team, look, it wasn't always pretty. This was not an artistic masterpiece, and neither was their win last Thursday night. But what did they show you when they were 1-2 and in big trouble? By beating the Giants on the road and then going into Pittsburgh last night and winning. What did it say to you?
Well, it said a lot to me because, number one, the mentality of this football team seemed to change. And what I mean by that is we got to run the football, be more balanced on offense. They knew it was a problem. They fixed it. They kept running the football in this game against, by the way, the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right? Not somebody you want to do that. But that defense, that's the change. That's the change. Look, nobody's been more critical of this defense, and rightfully so, than me, because I know what it takes. This one here, I mean, you just knew Pittsburgh was going to just run it down their throat. You know what? A problem? They couldn't. And credit Mike Zimmer and that defensive coaching staff of putting their guys in the best position. They're playing without their two best players on defense. You know what?
Is that coincidental?
It never showed up.
Is it coincidental that they all of a sudden rose up and stopped the run without DeMarcus Lawrence and Micah Parsons? Some will look at it and say, maybe.
Oh, no chance. No chance.
No.
Absolutely no chance.
So what are you saying?
I'm seeing the scheme was more guys around the line of scrimmage, even bring in some guys that were attacking the line of scrimmage, attacking blocking patterns. We haven't seen them do that. All right, the last 2 weeks we have. So, again, they're going to be tested down the road, but they answered a huge test. And when you know that team is saying, hey, look, we're going to run it down your throat. And Dallas usually is like, I'm finesse. They don't do anything about it. This time they had an answer, and they said, no, we're punching you back.
We don't usually see Dallas win games like this. Let's just be real. We don't see the Dallas Cowboys win games like this. Multiple turnovers. Dak Prescott didn't play well, okay? But they stopped the run. That's something we've been talking about with the Dallas Cowboys all season long, is their inability, and going back to last season, their inability to stop the run. And when they needed to make the plays the most, they did it, okay? All the other mistakes, those are correctable. But to go out there on the road against the Pittsburgh Steelers and get that win, we can't dismiss that. We can't sit here and dismiss the Cowboys going out there and getting a big win on the road against the Pittsburgh Steelers.
This is more of avoiding catastrophe than getting a huge win. This was bad offense bailing out bad offense, meaning the Pittsburgh Steelers struggling offense bailing out the Cowboys' bad offensive performance. You guys talked about it, 3 turnovers, 2 of them take points off the board. If not for that final fumble recovery or that late fumble recovery by Dak Prescott, this one, which he follows the football, something your coach do as a young quarterback, that's going to be 4, and we're having a completely different conversation. They had 6 points with like 18 minutes to go in this game. Yes, you credit them for going to win the football game, right? But there is nothing about this team that you walk away and saying, man, really well done. I guess the big thing is, let me take that back. Jake Ferguson and Tolbert. You win a game on the road, and there are in many reasons why you won that football game. I'll give them that.
Can I ask you? It's week 5.
Yeah.
It's week 5. How can we make any proclamations at week 5?
But
I understand that they didn't play well offensively. They had multiple turnovers. But the thing that I'm speaking about with the Dallas Cowboys is I'm speaking about the DNA of the Dallas Cowboys over the years. Over the years, they would never win a game like this. Never. But somehow, some way, they found a way to go on the road and beat the Pittsburgh Steelers when they weren't playing their best, particularly on offense. That's what my takeaway is.
Here's the other thing, and we can go bigger picture here. I know we were going to do a tape, but we'll talk about what the Cowboys are and what they aren't. I'd agree with you. They look like a slightly above average NFL team right now. But who in the NFC is it that looks great? It's very hard to find a team that looks great.
That looks great.
The Lions could get great.
They are.
Maybe they'll wind up being great. Minnesota.
They're not great right now. The Lions are not great right now.
Green Bay's not nearly as good as I thought they were going to be.
Green Bay's clearly at worst the second, or Detroit is clearly the second, at worst, second best team in the conference.
Understood.
Detroit and Minnesota are clearly head and shoulders above everybody.
Head and shoulders above everybody.
Everybody, absolutely.
Who did you say?
Seattle, San Francisco, Arizona, Minnesota, Green Bay, Detroit, Philadelphia, Washington, Tampa, New Orleans, and Atlanta. I mean, there were a bunch of teams in the NFC, all of whom, when they play well, look good, all of whom look clearly flawed.
Okay, but so out of those teams, Greeny, I understand that what your point is. But Washington clearly looks better, and you're banking on them being a better football team.
No debate.
San Francisco is going to get healthy. Like they are going to become a healthy football team.
What your record says.
No, you're not.
They are 2-3. They are 2-3.
He would. How many of these games are the Cowboys going to win?
Who are you taking over there, Wood? Yeah.
I don't listen. There's no world beaters. Like the 49ers are not the 49ers. Okay?
Right.
The Falcons, the Eagles. The Eagles are like, what are the Eagles right now? I think my biggest thing is a lot of these teams, we don't know who they are.
Yes, we do.
So how can we make a proclamation that the Dallas Cowboys are done?
I do like the Lions. I'm with you on the Lions.
We know who these teams are.
Yeah.
We know Detroit and Minnesota are very good. We know that New Orleans, good football team. Tampa Bay, good football team. Atlanta, good football team. They've had games that they've looked better than Detroit or Dallas all season. Arizona, that's why San Francisco lost. Kyler Murray, he was fantastic yesterday. San Francisco's gonna get healthy, dude. San
Francisco's a flawed team. I know they got the injuries. San Francisco, how many multiple games have they blown the lead?
2.
Yeah.
Right,
Let me ask you
two.
this.
Like they're not playing. They're not the San Francisco.
Not the same.
They're not the same.
Okay. What game has Dallas played in this year that you were impressed by them?
I'm not. But what I'm saying is, it's week 5, Dan. It's week 5. Like, if Dallas was playing this way at Thanksgiving, then I would agree with you. It is week 5.
I was impressed with them week 1, which speaks
Anybody
volumes.
who plays against
Well,
them.
now we see it's not that big a win. Well, no, it was at the time. All right. This week right here, we're criticizing this offense for having 446 yards against Pittsburgh. This isn't some Carolina.
He makes some poor decisions. It's poor. Now, he's a playmaker, and there's that element. He's got to get the consistency back with both his throws and his decision-making. He got bailed out a little bit by the overall team that they were playing. Too much YOLO ball.
Well, did we not see, obviously, the most noteworthy play is the one that he makes in the back of the end zone yesterday when he made what might very well have been the worst decision that we've seen any quarterback make and may have let you off the hook forever.
There it is.
There it is. I mean, that's bad, right? Wood, I would never. I would never.
No, you wouldn't. You would not. You would not have thrown that ball, Dano.
2 points.
Nobody's going to say the obvious.
That's a 5-point swing right there.
That's exactly right. Yours was only a safety.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a much worse play. Rex, you were saying to us yesterday on Sunday NFL, here's Dan's play.
Artie, we didn't need to run.
That's a smart play by Dano.
Anybody watching this show has seen it.
It's such a smart
Artie,
play.
come on.
Yeah, and that's...
They got in and throw it.
Anyway, but let's not lose focus on what we're talking about. Rex, you during Sunday Countdown yesterday suggested you're not sold on Jordan Love.
No.
And yesterday, I think he lived up to a lot of what you were saying. Why?
Of course he did. 30 years of experience, and that's why, because I know what I see.
What do you see?
And to me, he can occasionally be reckless with the ball. Does the guy have amazing talent? Oh, hell yeah, he does. But he's got some of this knucklehead where it's hard to explain sometimes.
Yeah.
You know
like
what I
this
mean?
throw.
But look,
that throw's lucky.
No,
Yeah.
This one, into a team meeting, and he hits it. That Reed kid's a beast.
He's
I'm glad he's on my fantasy squad. But I'm just telling you, like, some of these throws, he gets away with this one. He gets away with it.
Yeah, no way you should throw that.
And when I made my statement, everybody looked like I had 3 heads, which you usually do with some of my comments. But I'm right. I end up being proven right.
He was a popular pick before this season to be league MVP, and I'm one of the people who picked that because he looked like he was ascending so much at the end of last season. How much of what we're seeing now can be attributed to the fact that he was hurt?
Yeah, I think part of it. I do think part of it. I mean, one of the words that stands out in my mind when I've watched him is he's not firm with much right now. Firm with his decision-making, firm with his throws. He's got to get back to playing to build that consistency.
Will he be great? Will they be great as this season goes on and he gets himself back more into the flow?
I think as he plays, I think some of that stuff that Rex was talking about will calm down. He is kind of arrogant with the football because he's so talented.
He's a little Brett Favre type. Like, you know, where all of a sudden it's great for you guys, but it's also great for the other team.
He's in the right uniform for it, I guess. All right, Danny, next QB quick read. Caleb Williams finds a way to win yesterday, albeit against a bad team. What'd you see?
Getting through progressions so much better than he did early in the season. I think the longer he held the ball, he was better yesterday. That had been a major flaw. Now, they ran the ball well with motion, the tempo, a little bit of a Washington stuff that they've done with Jaden Daniels, but just getting through progressions. He's playing faster. He's seeing the field much cleaner, and they absolutely destroyed man coverage yesterday. But the past couple weeks, just the ability to see the field and get from 1 to 2 to 3 has skyrocketed.
What are you seeing so far, D. Wood, in this? Sometimes we judge these rookies so quickly, and it's worth noting, and we're going to get to him in a second, that the player chose after him, again, as was the case last year, is setting the world on fire.
Right.
What are we seeing from the number 1 pick?
You know what? It's just like sometimes we don't allow these guys to transition. Jaden comes out and setting the world on fire, and it's like going from college to pro. It takes time, but I think what Dan talks about is right. You could see, you could see on the film, like, the dude is 1, 2, making decisions and go. Early on in the season, he was holding on the ball, thinking it's USC, trying to make the big plays, and he got himself in trouble. I think he relied more on his playmakers to do the job for him.
Yeah, you know what? To me, it looked like he was playing at USC because that defense stinks. I could throw for 220 yards against that. Look, I'm going to say, the kid is getting better. We know he's going to get better. The guy's a generational talent.
Yeah.
So there's no denying they have weapons. But this defense is sorry. You talk about soft. And where's the Carolina chirpers that were on me? What did I tell you? We got a quarterback. Yeah, you got nothing, dude. This team stinks. And you know what? Remember that I picked the over?
Yes.
Why? Because I said I could throw for 220 against him. He went over 300 yards. So good for him. But my goodness, God, and he had all day back there.
Yeah.
That's a lot of Mississippis back there. I don't know if you're going to get that kind of pass protection when you play Detroit Rock City.
One more. Let's talk about Jaden Daniels. I don't think it's, well, this is what I'm saying is a fact. Through 5 games, Jaden Daniels has been the best rookie quarterback in NFL history, and that doesn't mean it's going to continue. Last year, C.J. Stroud had the best season that any rookie quarterback has ever had. To this point, Jaden Daniels has been better. Dan, what are we seeing?
Washington has found their Lamar Jackson. The playmaking with his feet is spectacular, and automatically you're like, this team's going to contend for Super Bowls because of this young player. The passing, the timing of their pass game has gone up. Their zone read offense right now is
crazy.
You're getting like 5 yards a clip, and that's a bad play. They run the ball well with Brian Robinson. His connection with those receivers, he's unfazed. Nothing phases this young man.
Greeny, did you just say that he's had the best 5 games of any rookie quarterback?
Yes.
Can we scribble out the rookie?
Yeah, he had
best 5 games of any quarterback.
Right up
Might
there.
be more this guy's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, he has been absolutely spectacular. Cliff Kingsbury changed a little bit. That's why you give guys a second thought, a second chance. And by the way, the addition of Anthony Lynn.
This throw
is ridiculous.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous.
We had Zach Ertz on what we call Countdown Cam yesterday, walking into the stadium, his tight end, and he said he reminded him immediately of Andrew Luck, which was Ertz's teammate in college. That it was just so totally in control of everything from the moment he got there. And you would normally think, look how big Luck is, look how little Jaden Daniels is. You would not make that comparison. That really struck me, that was the comparison Zach Ertz made. What are we seeing in Jaden Daniels?
I mean, you're talking about he's a culture changer. Think about what he's done for the Washington Commanders. And, it's funny how you mentioned Andrew Luck. Think about with the state of the ending of his coach when Andrew Luck arrived. He totally flipped the whole organization. Well, guess what? Jaden Daniels has totally flipped the Washington Commanders. A lot of it is Cliff Kingsbury. Yeah. Think about this, Rex. How much better their defense is playing. When you but see, this is the thing. When you hit on the quarterback and he's playing the way he's playing, it galvanizes everybody.
Oh, well said. Well said.
That said, Cleveland's offense is going to make a lot of defenses look better as the year goes on. Is Washington going to win that division?
I would pick them to win the division, yes.